Hello and welcome back to the studio of Inspired Mind. Almost after a year, I'm working back on this platform, and on today's video, I have come up with a very important insight, a very useful information about the digital distraction. That at one point of time, I realized that somewhere in a different degree, we all are falling into this loop of the dopamine loop. We all are falling into the trap of doom scrolling. We all are falling into the trap of the social media addiction, or let's say, we all are falling into the trap of digital distraction, and the addiction to distraction is the death of the creative production. So first of all, to understand all this loop, let's understand what dopamine is. Dopamine is it's a neurotransmitter. A neurotransmitter, we can say it's a messenger of the brain, which is there in our brain since the evolution of the human brain. All right, and it plays a very important role in learning. It plays a very important role in movement, and it plays a very important role to do all the basic day-to-day activities of a human being. So and it is also called as a feel-good hormone in the brain, which actually makes us feel good whenever we do any activities. Like for example, when we play video games, our brain gets stimulations, and that stimulation produces dopamine, which makes us feel good, and then we get hooked onto this. Similarly, when we use social media or we watch movies, similarly when we play video games, when we eat food which are higher in sugar or let's say fat, at that point of time, what happens is our brain gets stimulated, and this feel-good hormone called dopamine, it's get released, and we start to feel good, and continuously we want more. In a mechanism of a dopamine, it is also said as it is a molecule of a more. That means every single time when we play video games, the shot of the dopamine is that brains requires is more to feel the same happiness, or to feel the same degree of goodness. We need the extra shot of this. That is the main reason of the poor. We use social media. We are in a constant phase of comparison, and comparison is the thief of our joy. You consciously or unconsciously, we start doing comparison, and that comparison is actually it's stealing your joy, it's stealing your energy, it is stealing your cognitive bandwidth, it is stealing your creativity, it's stealing your speciality, your special gift also. Actually, what happens when we open any social media feed, its algorithm is such a best that when you keep on watching one certain video, it keeps on feeding you the same video. And when you watch that video, what happens is your prefrontal cortex of our brain, that is the seed of reasoning, thinking, which actually helps us to take a decision and think in a long term, that gets hooked. And then the stimulations of when we watch those kind of videos, or whatever the kind of video that we watch, it continuously stimulates our brain to release dopamine, and our prefrontal cortex is already hooked, and then this goes on, and we fall into this trap of social media addiction, and we don't even realize about this how we spend 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours without any constant. It goes on and on and on. This is how this addiction goes on. You know that dopamine and the constant stimulations can impair our ability to think long term, and it also impairs our memory. I don't mean to say that don't use social media, because the information that I am sharing right now is also on a social media platform itself. All the reason behind making this video in the studio of Inspiring Mind, to share you an information about don't become a constant consumer without any constant. Consume things that helps you, that benefits you, that helps you to grow, but don't constantly become a consumer. Become a creator also. How did I manage to, since last 1 month, my screen time is less than 2 hours, and I consciously decided this. The step that I took to do this digital detox kind of thing is, first of all, I turned off all the notifications from all the applications that I have in my phone, and then I started to normalize the stimulations of the brain. Because what happened when you constantly check social media, when you check your phone, your brain is constantly stimulated, and when it is constantly stimulated, what happens is it gets tired. That is the reason why we have a problem in sleeping. That is the reason why we have a problem in functioning in a very optimum level of cognitive functions. And secondly, what I did was I started practicing meditation. And when you practice meditation, the first thing that happens is you normalize your stimulated brain. You shut down your brain for a few moments, and then it gets into that habit of shutting down. And I started tracking my screen time, and I put a target that in an entire day I'm only going to use my phone for less than 2 hours, only in important pursuits, and I'm not going to use my social media for an entertainment purpose. Then I started to use my phone in a different phases. For example, let's say if I have used my phone in 3 phases, only for 10 minutes, and I have set a timer for it. I started checking my phone 9 a.m. in the morning for 10 minutes, then it directly goes to 12 p.m., 12 noon for 10 minutes, and then it goes to 3 p.m. and after that I don't check any of my emails, messages. If there is an important call, important message to convey, you'll get a call. Definitely you'll get a call from that. And also we need to understand is why are we getting into this loop. And there is one important factor that is also affecting us, is called a FOMO, that's fear of missing out. We constantly keep on checking in a fear that we are losing something, we are missing out of the information. Trust me, you are not going to miss anything from somewhere, from any sources. Whatever things are happening into the world, you will get to know. You don't have to depend, or you don't have to get addicted to social media. So I'm almost in the end of this video, and your focus, your attention is a very, very precious thing that helps us to grow, that helps our brain to actually put ourselves in a very cognitive. And at the end of this video, I want to say you that stop managing your time and start managing your focus. Why? Because as I have started to do these things since last 1 month, my sleep cycle is at its best, my energy level has increased, I am not restless anymore, my creativity has sparked, and obviously my memory is improving. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more such informative video. Thank you so much.